Hello there, back to some flute technique. I wanted to talk to you today about the Pneumo Pro, and I mentioned this in my video about reaching the middle register with ease. This little gadget, I don't know when it was invented and I don't know who invented it, but I came across it a few years ago and I am now an addict to using this in my teaching and also my own playing. Nothing I've come across demonstrates more simply some of the basics of our flute technique. And I've used it with beginners, I've used it with advanced players, and there's all sorts of things that this can help us problem solve or find out where the challenges in our playing are. So it's very simple. It doesn't make a sound, that's a good thing. So you can never make a bad sound in a Pneumo Pro. So it's filled in at the end, okay? And this little contraption here has a series of coloured fans on it which you can blow. So if you think of the basic principle of combining air direction and air speed in your flute playing, this does it all. So the black section that holds the fans has a little platform on it, and I did start putting a little 5p on top of it, but it is very slippy, so it is quite difficult to hold that. But even the imagery of holding a 5p piece on there is very useful, and that means that you've got the embouchure hole directly on the top of the Pneumo Pro, or your flute as it would be, and you're not rolling in or rolling out as well, and that's absolutely crucial as well. So you want to have that absolutely horizontal. So we can have it onto our lips, and we talk about the direction of the air, which we change by moving the position of our lower jaw. So if I turn to the side, you can see. And of course the low notes live further down on the flute and the high notes are further up. So getting that flexibility is really crucial, and a lot of new players or inexperienced players grip heavily in this jaw, and the tightness prevents them from creating a beautiful sound in each register. So when we put this on here, if I turn to the side, I can move the position of my lower jaw whilst keeping my top jaw fixed and aim for the different coloured fans. And to be really clear about the direction, I can aim to spin one fan at a time. Often if your embouchure is too large, you can see that you'll spin 2 fans in one go. So it's really good for being precise in your target practice of your air. Then we have to think about the air speed. Look at how fast I can make the fan spin. And how I can change that to slow as well. So it's really great for demonstrating where the air is landing. One of the other things that I find that this is really useful for as well, though, is when we have issues with tonguing. And of course there's a whole series of things that can interrupt you know, how a fast passage will sound, but we need to make sure that the air is getting through the tonguing action. And often people will do but the air isn't actually travelling through. So if you've got maybe one of these Baroque sonatas that has got long semi-quaver passages, you can try your tonguing technique with this to see if the fans continue to spin whilst you're tonguing as well. I would definitely recommend as well putting this into the end of your flute. Here's my flute here, and it may not be very stable or fit just as snugly as your own head joint, but you'll get a really good idea, and you can try these passages whilst fingering the notes, and often we can find as well that maybe your fingers are moving the flute around and interrupting how that air comes out, or moving the air around, and sometimes that's why our sound isn't so clear in our semi-quaver passages. So these are, they're £20, £25 to buy. I would say that I refer to this a lot in my playing. It's worth it for me doing a lot of teaching and a lot of playing as well. But even sometimes the imagery of this is helpful. So at the moment I'm doing a lot of online teaching because we're in lockdown here. And so even if I take this out, it can often show people just the direction they want to go. But best of all, get one for yourself, use it in your own playing.